Days of Our Lives spoilers. Jada takes action. Theo and Chad fill in the latest captive, while Susan turns on Gwen. Salem, USA. In an era of on-demand streaming and truncated attention spans, the humble soap opera, a format once declared perpetually dying, is not just surviving, it's pioneering. The latest spoilers from NBC's enduring powerhouse, Days of Our Lives, offer a masterclass in how serialized drama is evolving, blending classic tropes with audacious, meta-narrative creativity. The upcoming plots involving Jada Hunter's decisive move, Theo Carver and Chad Mara's high-stakes collaboration, and Susan Banks's shocking turn against Gwen Rizzo aren't merely twists. They are case studies in modern storytelling alchemy. One Jada takes action, the new protagonist archetype. The spoiler that Jada Hunter is taking action signifies more than a character's decision. It represents the show's conscious shift toward a proactive, integrative protagonist model. Jada, as a detective, exists at the intersection of Salem's chaotic personal spheres and its fragile justice system. In the past, law enforcement in soaps often reacted to events orchestrated by supervillains or fate. Now, Jada's promised action hints at a driven, case-cracking initiative that will pull multiple storylines into her orbit, rather than her being pushed into them. This reflects a broader creative trend, the end of the passive heroine. Audiences, especially younger demographics engaged via Peacock, demand characters with agency who drive plot rather than endure it. Jada's action promises a narrative engine, a mystery to be solved that will organically connect the Mara boardroom, the Horton living room, and the dockside kidnappings. It's a writing strategy that builds a cohesive world from seemingly disparate subplots, a necessity in a show with over a dozen core characters. Theo and Chad, filling in the latest captive. Duos as narrative microcosms. The tantalizing phrase that Theo Carver and Chad Mara will fill in the latest captive is a creativity lightning rod. On its face, it's a classic soap rescue mission. But dig deeper into this pairing. Theo, the compassionate, tech-savvy nephew of Abe Carver, and Chad, the morally complex CEO of Mara Enterprises. This isn't a random team-up. It's a narrative microcosm. Their collaboration represents the fusion of Salem's foundational heart, the Carver/Horton legacy, with its most potent, chaotic force, the Mara empire. Theo brings empathy and digital intellect. Chad brings resources, street smarts, and a personal history with captivity and loss. The creative genius here is in the pairing's inherent conflict and synergy. They won't just be searching a warehouse. They'll be navigating their own ideological differences under pressure. This buddy cop dynamic, injected into the soap genre, allows for character revelation through action. Each clue they uncover will serve a dual purpose, advancing the plot while etching their partnership into the show's fabric. It's efficient, emotionally rich storytelling. Furthermore, the latest captive framing is a wry, self-aware nod to Salem's infamous history of abductions. The writers aren't ignoring the trope. They're acknowledging it and challenging themselves to make it feel new through the freshness of the duo tasked with solving it. Susan turns on Gwen, the meta-narrative bomb. Perhaps the most creatively explosive spoiler is Susan Banks turning on Gwen Rizzo. Susan, the eternally guileless, muffin-baking, Elvis-impersonating innocent, is one of Days of Our Lives' most belovedly bizarre creations. Her turning on anyone, let alone the recently and tenuously redeemed Gwen, is not a simple plot turn, it's a genre subversion. Susan has functioned as Salem's moral and emotional constant, a touchstone of pure, if eccentric, goodness. To weaponize her is to destabilize the audience's trust foundation. The creative risk is enormous, but the potential reward is higher. Is this a genuine, dark turn born of a compelling reason, perhaps to protect someone like her beloved Johnny Boy? Or is it another layer of one of Salem's endless impersonations or psychological breaks? This move exemplifies the meta-narrative play modern soaps are employing. It uses audience memory and deep character history as a storytelling tool. The shock isn't just in the event. It's in its violation of a character's decades-long essence. It forces viewers to reevaluate everything they know about Susan, about Gwen's past sins, and about the current web of alliances. This is not writing for casual channel flippers. It's writing for the dedicated, lore-knowing audience, rewarding their investment with profound canonical shifts. The Synthesis, a tapestry of modern serialized storytelling. Individually, these spoilers promise drama. Together, they paint a picture of a writer's room and masterful control of a sprawling narrative universe. Imagine the creative whiteboard, Jada's investigative thread, the procedural spine, Theo and Chad's mission, the action-adventure heart, and Susan's betrayal. Psychological and emotional bomb are unlikely to be separate. They will inevitably collide and intertwine. Perhaps Jada's action leads her to suspect Gwen, while Theo and Chad's captive is linked to the same secret Susan is reacting to. The captive could be someone connected to all parties. This interconnectivity is the hallmark of 21st century soap writing. It moves beyond isolated story of the week segments to a novelistic, integrated plot ecosystem. The why now, streaming fandom, and creative freedom. This creative renaissance is fueled by the show's move to the Peacock streaming platform. Freed from the rigid commercial breaks and sensorial constraints of 1960s-era broadcast standards, Days can craft more serialized, complex stories. The audience is now binging and theorizing in online communities, dissecting spoilers like these. The writers are crafting for that engagement, planting seeds and crafting twists that fuel social media debate for weeks. The spoilers for Jada, Theo and Chad, and Susan aren't just previews, they are invitations. Invitations to theorize about connections, to debate character morality, and to marvel at how a 58-year-old show can still find new corners of its universe to explore. They prove that in the right creative hands, the soap opera, with its deep history, sprawling cast, and daily delivery, is uniquely positioned to tell stories of a scale and complexity that limited-run series cannot match.